So if you've been following the Charlie Kirk pretrial, you know that there's been a lot of discussion regarding the round that was used to supposedly Charlie Kirk. So I did a little bit of due diligence and tried to find some videos of people shooting a 30-06 round so you could see how much impact velocity there is and what it does when it hits certain objects. Now, a few videos that I've found have been before the Charlie Kirk incident and some have been after. So I'm trying to eliminate as much bias as I can. So if you'll watch these videos and then we'll come back and talk about it.
At least then we can see the effect of a 0.6 round on the human skull.
Went in right there. I couldn't orientate this at all because it's just a massive mound of goo, basically. I mean, you got some meat there, and look at that. Just completely opened up. It just rode right down that bone. That's pretty impressive, guys. That's massive. 30-06, 180 grains. That'll leave him.
Charlie stood about 6'5". You take his body mass. If it was proportional, his neck would have been about 5.5, maybe 5.75 in diameter, giving him a circumference of maybe anywhere between 15 to 17 inches of his neck. So what we're going to do is we're going to simulate that with a pork neck. So we have a pretty hefty pork neck here, and solid bone, a couple inches of meat. We're going to see if we can get a bullet to stop in it at 100. And this time, I'm pushing out. I'm going to go to 175 meters. And we're going to see if we can hit this right square in center and get a 150 grain bullet to stop. Now remember, it's a core lock. It is designed to stop. That's what it's designed to do, but it's not designed to stop. Here, on just ballistics gel alone, the 150 grain core lock from 30-06 is going to have almost 24 inches of penetration. And again, for size reference, see what we got.
Jackpot.
So as you can see in those videos, there is so much impact force behind that round that even if it did hit bone, my opinion is that it would absolutely shatter that bone and make a horrific exit wound. Now, let me explain this a little bit further. A 30-06 round is a super powerful round. It is used to hunt big game, elk, moose, you name it. People also use it to hunt deer. I myself have done that for a long time. I've been a hunter since I was a kid. I'm from Texas. I've been around guns my whole life. Now, me personally, for the better part of the first 10 years that I hunted, I exclusively used the 30-06 round in an old Remington 700 that I got from my grandfather. So that round is a very heavy round as far as the grain size of the bullet. Typically, you'll find grain sizes anywhere between like 110 grain all the way up to like 250 grain for that round. Now, for those that aren't familiar, the grain size is how much the actual projectile weighs in the bullet, not how much black powder is in it. That gets confused a lot. And obviously, the heavier the grain, the heavier the round. Now, let's say, just for the sake of argument, that he picked kind of like a middle of the road round, which call it like 175, 185 grain bullet. For the sake of argument, let's say that the bullet did what they're claiming it did and it hit him in the vertebrae. I can tell you, without a shadow of a doubt, that if that round hit him in the neck, a 30-06 round hit him in the neck the way that it did, the damage would be unbelievable. So if you're not a hunter and you don't hunt deer specifically, typically when you're hunting deer, you aim for the vitals, which on a deer is going to be kind of right behind the shoulder blade back here. Lower than center mass and right behind the shoulder. That's where all the vitals are, the hearts, lungs. That way you can make a clean shot and drop it immediately. Now, there's not a lot of bone in that area, so most of the time that bullet will pass right through. And the exit wound on the other side is massive, and it causes a ton of trauma. The entry wound, I mean, it can be small depending on if the bullet tumbles and there's other variables. But for the most part, the bullet hole going in is small. The bullet hole going out is large, okay? Now, any hunter would tell you that they are not 100% accurate 100% of the time, especially at longer distances. And I myself have been a victim of that. I have hit a deer what we call high, so above the vitals, anywhere kind of like in the rib cage or above shoulder blade, that kind of thing. I can tell you that as soon as that bullet hits bone, that bone shatters. I can think of one particular instance where I hit a deer high and caught some of its vertebrae, and it completely splintered and shattered the vertebrae to where it was basically bone dust. It was unrecognizable. And then once the bullet hit that bone, it fragmented and did all kinds of crazy damage at the point of contact and all the way through the deer. And when I tell you that the exit wound of that deer was horrific, okay? I don't want to put a picture up here because it'll get taken down, but suffice it to say that the bullet hole exit wound was about this big around and the meat was just chewed up. Now, is there a chance that that round did do exactly what they're claiming and get lodged in his neck and not completely shatter his vertebrae? Sure. I'm not saying that the chance of that happening is zero, but it is so minuscule that I just find it super hard to believe. And a lot of other people who know about guns and know about ballistics are saying pretty much the same thing. I am not saying that this whole thing is a conspiracy theory and there's a grassy knoll and there was two shooters and Tyler Robinson is not the shooter. I'm not saying any of that. I'm specifically addressing that the round that hit Charlie was not a 30-06 round. And in my opinion, it was not. Now, as this trial progresses, I hope that we get enough evidence out there that we can really start putting the actual pieces together and figure out exactly what happened to Charlie so we can put all of these theories to rest on both sides. Because right now it's creating so much division in our party, and I know people are sick of it, and I am too. So at the end of the day, I hope that this video at least gives you enough information to be able to make an informed decision about what is or is not this supposed round that hit Charlie. And again, hopefully this gets put to rest and we can all just move on and just remember Charlie for who he was and the great person that he was.